Episode 17 of the Don't Listen Show. We have a very special guest here today, Insaine Caine. How you doing, G?
What up? How's it going, y'all?
Hey, shit. How you been today?
No, I'm doing good. Fucking was able to make it down here from northwest side.
Northwest side?
Yeah, that was cool.
That's good.
Fucking just chilling. But I'm happy to be here. It's I'm gonna say it myself, it's my first official interview. So in a couple of years, when I'm really popping, man, you guys look back on this podcast and these guys, what's it called again? Is it Don't Listen to Us?
Don't Listen to Us.
Yeah, don't listen to us, man. Get on it.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, but yeah, man, it's my first interview. So.
Insaine Caine. So I'm gonna tell you how I found you, bro. We obviously saw a video of Adam 22. We talked a little bit about it before. Before we get into any of that, though, I wanted you to get started. How did you come up with the name Insaine Caine?
All right, well, it started really young. My music influence started in Vegas. You know, I was in a very urban area, north side of Las Vegas, and I had, I was black babysitters. I was the white boy growing up, you know what I mean? I had black babysitters, I had black friends. That's what I grew up around. So hip hop music was played from a really young age to me.
Right.
Almost, I'll even affiliate it like this because we'll get to that hip hop Adam 22 video.
Yeah.
The thumbnail. Kind of like Malibu's Most Wanted when he was a baby. He
yeah.
Got hip hop shit, you know what I mean? Like, except like the complete opposite, the broke Malibu's Most Wanted, bro. But yeah, man. So I had that influence from a young age, and when I was about 12, 13, I had my first couple rap names, which I'll say. When I was 12, I was in a group with me and my homeboy, Kaylee. No. Khalil. I'm sorry, Khalil. Yeah, and a long time ago. And it was Cash City.
Cash City.
He was Cash, I was City.
Oh, that's tough.
But and then after that, I kind of went like thinking about my solo thing because I was actually born in Texas. I was thinking I went by Young Tex for like a period of time.
Oh,
but then when I was just turned 14, I met this homeboy that had moved down from Eastside Long Beach. He was a 20 crip, and but he did his last year of high school in Paso Robles in Central California, and we clicked, man. I was in ninth grade. He was a senior, but we clicked up. I was introduced, but I forgot how we were introduced. But I was that ninth grade little white boy kicking it with all the brothers and the seniors, juniors and the seniors, bro. And I was even like at some point spitting my verses like in the quad, man.
You're in there freestyling since like a youngin.
And it's honestly a freestyle. I'm okay. I'll get into it, like if I'm maybe having a good time or once in a while drinking, I'll get it. But I'm a writer. I'm a writer. I can maybe catch a cool
like little wave
once in a while. But I'm more of a creative.
You like to take your time when you're like creating your project.
But so anyway, when I met Tim, like that was his name. He called me I went by Cocaine. He called me Cocaine because I was white. And my flow was hard, you know what I'm saying? So, and then that
to clean it up, clever.
To clean it up for the industry, like after a little bit of time went by, I went by C Kane, like just to abbreviate it, C Kane. And then going through what I've been through, and just which I'll tell my story in a little bit, just the mental illness I deal with, and just how my experiences when I was about 19, it totally formulated to Insaine Caine. Just through my mental illness, my experiences with that, my depression, even all the way down to suicide attempts. So it really does work with me, and it fits me well. It's like a meant to be kind of thing to me.
Right.
It really evolved into that. You know what I mean? So
like I think from going through what you went through, which we can talk about if you want, it made you stronger, and it made you even more like hardworking when it comes to like music as well, right?
Exactly. No, exactly. Music was my only escape. It's the reason I'm still here. It's the reason why when I was on the streets, I was able to get through it, and it's my everything. You know what I mean? Like so that's just it. You know? But
so like let's get into when you're making a song, what kind of vibe do you have to be in? Do you have to be in like a certain like mood? Does it come in moods, or do you like no matter what, I'm punching in rhymes, I'm making songs?
Are these like a Greek mythology kind of reference? Like it's almost like a muse, bro. It hits you when it hits you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be listening to music. Yeah, you can buckle down and force yourself in the studio. When you're an artist and you're under contract and you got to be 14 hours in the studio, you can do that. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you don't get a lot out of that. You know what I mean? But a lot of my times it just comes, and when it comes, no matter what time of day, when it is, I'm on it, and I stick there. So I could be listening to beats, or I could have something in my head then I'll find a beat that'll fit with that eventually, and just get on it.
That's nice.
But I've actually taught myself since 13 years old, FL Studios, and I've been playing with my own beats for years. And I don't know if you looked up that album I did with Turf Talk.
No, I saw the song with E40 and Turf, and then you did another project with Turf, right?
I did the whole album with Turf Talk. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, he
Okay.
gave me was able to copy, which is cool because I grew up listening to E40 and Turf. They were I was raised by the hyphy movement, bro. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the E40 feature, I was like, oh, this is geek. This is good.
Yeah. So I mean, that's actually E40 I got the most respect for in this game. Like, other than also I grew up on Lil Wayne, of course. Wayne and 40.
Course, yeah.
Like, it's an interesting mix, but
that makes sense.
Those legends.
Yes.
Legend bosses.
Yeah,
man.
no,
I shout out E40 for that feature, man. I really appreciate it.
Yo, E40 still got it, man.
Shout out Turf Talk, man. He hooked that up, man. I met him actually through Facebook. We clicked up in the Bay. We ran a little muck and had some fun. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you got to, brother.
Yeah.
How did you feel about E40 as far as like how do you feel he is now?
He
still got it.
Legend,
man.
bro. Like, he puts out like 2 albums a year. Like, like what he like when he was doing the shift albums, the graveyard day shift or graveyard shift. I don't want to fuck it up, but day shift, night shift, graveyard shift, overtime shift.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he came out with that in like a year. Like, all those albums were like maybe 1.5 year period. I swear, because I was on it. He's like the one artist that, I buy his albums. I support that. You know what I mean? But now, getting really into my own. I'm an artist that I check up on what's going on the top 10 on SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
I check on what's going on the Billboard and see what's kind of relevant. But I am different, but that's what my management's teaching me to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I stay tuned to what's relevant, but I don't really listen to anybody. Like, when I'm cruising around, I'm studying my songs to make like the raw versions, to make sure they're what I can perfect, what needs to be done better, and just to you got to memorize all this shit once you get on stage. So I mean, I'm all tuned into my music right now.
That's actually a funny thing, because I've heard like a lot of artists like that come up, they start listening to their own music, just like
that's what happens,
and like they just get inspiration from there. So I can appreciate, and that's what makes you different, to be honest.
Thank you so much.
So who's the other artist that you got that you listened to growing up, or you're currently listening to now?
Well, Wayne, growing up, Wayne, of course, and I was honestly like the two. Like, I mean, with E40, I listened to all the big cats: Mac Dre, Jay Diggs,
Nice.
Keep the Snake, Andre Nicotina, Tech 9 over there in fucking Kansas. It's Kansas City. Let's see, who else was that cool? Messy Marv.
What was your favorite Wayne tape? Mixtape or mixtape Wayne?
Oh, dude, hands down, Carter 2.
Carter 2? Carter 2.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not a lot of people say that. A lot of people just go with Carter 3 because I feel like that's like the mainstream thing.
Fireman. That shit was
Fireman.
lit.
We were just listening to like Shooter on the way over here.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Best rapper alive.
Hustler's music.
Hustler's music is my jam. That's like,
I know every single word of that track.
Me too. It's like my favorite Lil Wayne song.
So that's what I'm saying. That's it. Hands down. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
But yeah, I'm pretty simple, and what's funny about me is like once I'm on something or when I feel a song, check it out. I like E40 like came out, had out the one song first of all, side comment. His fucking albums have like 20 to 22 songs on it. 19, let's be fair, 19 to 22 songs on it, each album. And you know how when you buy an album, even more mainstream, I don't want to say Wayne because I don't want to put him down like that, but there's been some even projects he's done where, it's 12, 15 songs and maybe only 4 or 5 of them really slap. The other ones are kind of like, dude, E40's just, to me at least, they go. Like,
that shit.
So I'll be stuck on one song and I'll bump that shit all day, every day for a week. Like, you know what I mean? That's me though.
No.
Like, to the point where when I have guests in my car, I get kind of embarrassed for my nerves, because like I want to keep playing it, but I know it's gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's true. But see, I'm like a humble dude. I really I care about other people. Like that's the other thing. Like I don't see a lot of. Which I'm trying to bring in. Not like I'm not saying I'm the one that's doing it, the only one, but I'm on the side that's trying to bring that positivity. Like EXCERPT.
You're down to earth.
I'm down to earth. You know what I mean? I want to give back when I get my money. Like when I have a plan to set up a foundation when I get my money.
Nice.
You know
So,
what I'm
like,
saying?
so about the work in the community, can you like tell us some of the stuff you've done and why you do it?
Well, some of the stuff I've done, like I even got something on my Instagram where I went and passed out some burgers and I gave out some money and some to be honest, cigarettes and joints, because I was on. A lot of people hated on me for the cigarettes thing, and I was like, dude, I know what they want. If they want the cigarette, let them have it. You know what I mean? It's like they weren't all gone. Like I came back, I had 5 left. You know what I mean? Throw them out. I don't even smoke no more. But it's just, I know what they want, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And I would have, when I was homeless, if anybody would have came by and just given me a cigarette or handed me $5 or handed me a joint, oh my God, a single one of those would have made my fucking week.
And what is that hurting compared to what they really want? You know what I mean? Like a cigarette, like really, like that's nothing.
I mean, it's not, but when you're on the streets and you have nothing, your little vices that you do have, or the little things you do have, are everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? You spend all day collecting cans to get for $20 so you can get a sack, bro, kind of shit. You see people out there like that. I see people and I've been around this. I've hung around them and I've seen it, and that's what's caused me to be like, oh my God, this isn't me, and this is something I definitely want to help in the future if I can help myself. God bless, and he helped me help myself, and I'm where I'm at now, still climbing up, but I want to be in that position to do that. You know what I mean? To help those people, because I was there. They're me.
Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Check it out. Like, there be people down in the river bottom, or me myself. I didn't set up a tent. When you set up a tent, in my mind, this is my mentality. You set up a tent. You look at that as your home. You look at that as your home. You get lost and you're getting high and you're paid. Now that's your main thing. You know, like, so once you look at that and you start treating it like that, like a life, it becomes your life. And 20 years later, you're like smoked out, and you realize, holy shit, I'm 40 years old, I'm 50 years old, and I've done nothing.
Yeah. So almost giving it that permanency was like making it
exactly
a state of legitimacy.
Thank you. Yes. So I always had my sleeping bag. I was up I was more in town. I wasn't up and down in the river bottom. I was more in town. Under bridges and overpasses, you know what I'm saying? Just for the nights, I'd change it up every, so often, because there'd be people attacking homeless people too.
For sure,
at night when they sleep.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's a problem here too in Vegas. Like, I don't know if you heard what happened a couple months, maybe it's about a year ago. Just somebody they caught someone on camera here downtown. Just shot and killed a homeless guy who was asleep in his sleep. You know what I mean? And like, how evil do you have to be to kill someone while they're sleeping, like in their most vulnerable position?
That. Like, just there's nothing you can say. It's just.
And of course they can't catch the person, so it's sick.
It's a different type of evil.
It happened a couple times within a short period of time. So it was.
I don't mean to be all religious, but I mean I give it to God, what I can't control. But that's evil. You know what I mean? That's what evil is right there, man. And we just gotta look at that, learn from that, and at least learn from, like, we all learn. We're information seeking beings. That's what we are. Like, from life to death, we want information. So what you gotta do is learn from it and use it.
Yeah, I appreciate the cigarette thing. Just kind of to go back to that, because I understand that, like, when someone's struggling at that level, that someone who's homeless is struggling, a simple pleasure, like you said, can make your day, and it can get you just from one day to the next day. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just like, I guess we take for granted some of those things sometimes, when it's like, oh yeah, I can get a pack of cigarettes, I can go to McDonald's and get a burger, but it's like, you don't realize how small these things. Obviously a cigarette's not healthy, a beer is not healthy, but it's like, if that thing made your day and it made your day a little bit easier, so you can wake up the next day not feeling so bad about yourself, it can help.
It's like one of those things. It's like doing that, like what's right is wrong and what's wrong is right kind of thing. Like, for them at that month, that's what they need. Like, that they'll tell you, like, you know what I mean, and they'll be cool, or they'll flip the. I've seen somebody flip the fuck out. That if they would have probably had a cigarette, it wouldn't, like, a whole incident would have happened. They wouldn't have gone to jail for freaking out, like, doing this or that. Like, seriously, it comes down to that final straw.
But the people that criticize, doing this stuff like that, they've never even been in that position ever in their life. They've never known that kind of struggle. Yeah. So, like, it's, to me, I don't know that struggle either. But it's like, I know you don't know it. So how are you going to be that patronizing? Yeah. Because I kind of follow the homeless situation here in Vegas, as far as, like, the newspapers, and people who are, like, working in the community, and there's a part that I don't like, is that they're kind of patronizing towards the homeless people, as far as only giving them support under conditions. And I don't like that. I don't really appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's and a lot of them have problems. A lot of them need to be detoxed. A lot of them need that stuff that they don't they say they can't, but no, it's more like they don't want to. You know what I mean? They don't want. Like, government could definitely make room for budget for cities or states to do something.
Absolutely.
I mean, LA started. At least I heard they started doing something. At least getting the homeless off the streets. They started housing them.
They did.
I don't know all the terms of it, but you know what I mean. But it's great. But look. I don't know. I'll just mommy just like tell my story, or just pretty much where like
totally
just from,
up to you. Where you want to
like
start?
So pretty much, you know, I was born in Richardson, Texas. It's right outside of Dallas. My dad was shot and killed when I was 4 months old. He was asked by a friend. Well, first of all, he used to drink, he used to party, but when my mom got pregnant with me, he stopped and was being cool. He got his journeyman's license, like, you can become an electrician and all that. I was on the good path. His friend asked him to take him to a neighborhood to pick up for a different friend's birthday party that he wasn't even going to. All right, so he drove them over to the neighborhood. Homeboy went inside, came back out. Right when he came back out, got into the car, somebody ran up on the driver's side and tried, I don't know what they were trying to do, but my dad put the car into reverse, the gun went off, and he got shot in the spinal cord. When the gun went off, my dad kind of fell over to the side, and my dad's friend acted like I fell over to the side too, acting like, you know, and then the guy ran off, I guess. He put my dad in the driver's seat and in the passenger seat and drove to the hospital. So it's like, dude, there's not even a crime scene, bro. There wasn't even a crime scene because it got moved out, and that's just the story. Like, you know, that I'm told that I know of. Right. Who knows what really happened? But like, you know, but as far as I know, that's what happened, and 27 years cold, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
And it's a cold case too.
Yeah, 27 years cold. That's what I'm saying.
God bless it, man. That's stupid. So, like, what happened when the police came? Like,
I was so young. I mean, it was
all over. How old were you when
I was 4 months old?
God bless, bro.
Yeah. So my mom moved to Vegas because I have an aunt and uncle out here, just to be closer to, you know, a little bit of family. And I was raised in, you know, northwestern part of Vegas. It was like, you know, mostly urban areas, you know what I'm saying? Right. So, and that's where, like I mentioned, you know, growing up listening to music and getting into it like that. Pretty much when I was like 10, 11 years old, we ended up moving to be closer to my sister's dad. You know, my mom had got together with somebody that I kind of saw as my dad for a while until I started splitting up around, you know, 11, 12 years old. You know, custody battle, that bullshit. But anyway, my mom, God bless her. I mean, I'll take a bullet for her to this day, and it's just, it just is what it is. It's for me, it's just accepting who your parent is, and just for what it is. But my mom, for whatever reason, starting at 8 years old, she called the cops on me instead of parenting me. Like, she would, like when I was 8. She was trying to put Tabasco sauce in my mouth, you know, because I was acting up. I guess I didn't want to do my homework or something, and she was like, and it was, I didn't want to do that, so like she got on top of me, and I was just trying to swing and avoid, you know, like getting Tabasco sauce in my mouth, and I accidentally, my elbow hit her in the lip. She comes she gets on the phone 999. My son hit me. Like, making it seem like I just went, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, said it like that. And so cops come over, big ass black cop comes, fucking picks me up, takes me into my room, slams me on my bed, throws me behind my back, cuffs me, picks me back up, takes me back out of the living room, throws me on the couch. He said, "Don't you even try to slip those cuffs, motherfucker." And he's like, "You don't fucking hit your mom. Like, dude, what are you thinking?" And lecture gave me a lecture. Then my mom was like, "Well, you know, this is what was going on. It was kind of an accident." And then it, you know, and that's just a simple. That's just a way. That's kind of how every event happened. Like, everything would be from there on.
It just started escalating.
Yeah, it started escalating. She I don't know. I guess she just didn't know what to do, and I was forced. First of all, I'm on medication. Let's talk about this. I got ADHD, ADD, bipolar, severe depression, general anxiety disorder, and some PTSD, and that's from being on the streets. Okay, so. But the other ones from 6 years old. Okay, hold up. 6 years old, you're putting me on methylphenidate, Ritalin.
Right.
Okay, like, wait a minute. You're putting me on. What I started learning was, hey, when your brain's developing until you're 25, don't take drugs, Because by then, at least your brain's developed if you take them, and then by then, more than likely, you won't want to take them at all. By that point, look, you're giving speed to a child that's 6 years old that hasn't even grown out of his hyperness yet.
Right.
I might have not even needed these pills ever.
You might have just been a kid.
Yeah, exactly. And now, having them for so long, I need them. I can't have. I can't be without them. Like, I feel I was like almost a lab-batted situation, not intentionally, but you know how so many kids were just thrown on pills during that 90s era.
Yeah, that story is so common. You know what I mean?
And
and it's I'm obviously
so there was always something wrong with me. It was always because my mom put that in my head. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why, the Insaine Caine, really, I own it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm knowing who I am now.
And I think that's the best way to do it. You just own up to who, you become, and you use it as a strength. You're almost using your weaknesses as strengths.
Yeah. And my mom got together with when I was 12, around, 11, 12. My mom got, right after breaking up my sister's dad, and we got to Central California after moving there to be closer to my sister's dad. She hooked up with a guy that was, ended up being very abusive and actually ended up beating me once. Okay, and he beat me so bad that I had blood, like spots, like it was red. You know when you get when you get a hickey,
it's like a broken blood vessel.
Yeah, you know when you get a hickey. Yeah, it's just those red spots all over my face and around the back of my head.
Yeah, that's when the blood vessel's breaking from the trauma.
Yeah, he hammer fisted me like that. Okay, about 5-6 times, dude. And he was low on blood sugar. He was mad about something, and probably really what it was we were out in the living room. I don't know what I did, or I don't think I did anything, but he was just in a bad mood, and he ended up getting me to the floor. He told me to get up, go to your because I don't know what the fuck happened, but from what I remember, he ends up kicking me while I'm on the ground trying to get up, and my head hits the table, and this picture frame of him and my mom's wedding, it was a crystal picture frame, it was nice from the wedding photo, fell and broke, and I ran up and went to my room, and once he realized that broke, even though it was his fault for kicking me into the table, that's when he came down into my room and started, he broke my fucking picture. I ran across the street to the neighbor that I knew that was really cool. It took me fishing and things like that I had a connection with. And I called he called my mom, and I should have called the cops.
You should, right? Yeah.
Okay, well, my mom was working a double shift at the hospital, okay, flew home, begged me not to press charges or call the cops, even though he was like, dude, I deserve it. Don't do it because it could ruin her custody battle with my sister, and that it could be used against her in court. Right. So I said okay. I didn't call the cops. I didn't I let it go. And then when she broke up with him after sending me to the same program around after that, because there was still something wrong with me, that Daniel Bergoli was sent to, Turnabout Ranch, I was sent to when I was 12, just turned 13.
Okay. You were in that same ranch.
Interesting.
Yeah, I went to that same program, and I learned a lot of things that changed my life in ways, but it didn't fix me, right? Like my mom wanted it to. But anyway, after that time I came back from that program, their relationship with the abusive husband was it was finally shot. And now she's like, back then it was, you need to get used to him. He's not going anywhere. He's probably part of he's the reason you rebelled. I understand it was all his fault. He was probably you were right for doing so now you just so now it's okay. Now, okay, you know what I'm saying? That pattern. But then she ended up, after getting back from that program, what I learned in that program was a lot about drugs. I had just turned 13. Everybody there was older than me, had a drug problem. You know what I mean? I think the next youngest one there was 15. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was there for 4 months, and I learned a lot. It was a really cool experience, but I got so curious about drugs. So when I came back, naturally, within 6 months of them finally breaking up and me, turning to the streets just because of all the drama, I found weed. And by 14, with the people I was kicking, when the abusive husband was completely out of the house, dude, I was into coke and already selling coke and doing all this crazy shit, bro. By 14.
14 years old.
That's why I was getting money to go to the studio and record studio time and shit like that. You know what I mean? But I was fucking around. You know what I mean? But and because I was the anger, even though my mom would admit, I wasn't with him anymore, just the anger from all that, just really now sure. You're on, you know what I mean? But so at that point, I got I took a car out one night on a joyride, and so after all that thing with my sister a couple years ago for not doing all that, I got pulled over for joyriding. I could have got a little citation and a slap on, like, you know, she could have let me go home. My mom said, book him. She put me into the system. And because I had already been on diversion once before from another situation, that, like, when some dude fought, like, you know, I was fucking with my sister, so I took a pitchfork down. There, my mom called the cops because I took a pitchfork down there.
Are you serious?
Yes.
And how old were you when this joyride happened?
When the joyride, I was around just 14. Just turned 14.
Man, you're
just turned 14.
Kid, man.
And and so anyway, but that put me into being a ward of the court. Because she said book him, I became a ward of the court, full probation, like, to where I'm saying 6 dudes on a Tuesday night, and your PO come up knocking on your door all strapped up, bulletproof vests and all these guns and all this shit to piss test you and search your shit. And you're 14, you're like, you're looking like a motherfucking SWAT team, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what do you think I am, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's interesting. So I was that experience was forced. That was my parent. That's who raised me, was the system, and a mom that kept pushing me toward it. You know, so by the time I was 18, and I actually ended up falling in love when I was about 16, 17. I ended up being in a relationship that pulled me out of all the bullshit. You know what I mean? I got off probation. We were together for about 3.5 years, 4 years, and that ended up, that the one that got away, that typical story. And I was about 19 at that point. You know, I was always doing music and doing what I could. You know, just doing my thing. After getting off probation, I was hustling. All I knew was selling weed, and just it's all I knew.
Making your way.
Yeah, exactly. So and then when I lost her, man, it was over. Like, I just didn't give a fuck after that. You know what I mean? So
did your music change after you guys?
I got more into it, but because music I got always torn, it would get that emotion out of me. You know what I mean? I could release it that way. But when I lost her, I don't want to even get to everything that happened. Just with the whole situation after, I ended up in Ventura and going to school. My family was helping me out for a minute while I was going to school. I was getting financial aid and all that stuff. So I ended up trying just to do what, the normal life, even though I've known my whole life, music is what's for me. Been doing that, you know what I mean? So, and everything I've been telling you this whole time, know that music was always being done on the side. That was everything I was doing through all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So,
it was constant for you.
Yeah, constant.
That was like your only consistency.
So it's just, I ended up halfway through a program to become a medical assistant. I was passing and everything, but I was at the point to where at lunch, I was going to the liquor store across College Liquor, walking through the neighborhood, drank a 24 to 211 Steel Reserve, smoked a bowl of weed, and then went back to class. After, so that was me and it was just, because I missed her.
Just to level out, just forget.
Yeah, and but I ended up one night getting too far, and I tried to commit suicide, and I was this close. I lost 400 milliliters of blood. They were putting blood back into me. 50 stitches. And I'm not a cutter. See, I'm not no damn cutter. This is one.
That was one time.
Yeah, and
I'm glad you're still here, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, me too, man. And because of that, and the people where I was living, I got evicted, and my family just couldn't help me, so I ended up on the streets for a couple years after that. And because of my mental illness, I wasn't doing the hardcore drugs. I didn't do all that shit. Once I got to the streets, I was like, fuck it, heroin and meth, bro. This is what everybody else was doing. But that was after I just had nothing. You know what I mean? But then after the couple years I was on the streets, I was able to get off through the Alano Club, through NAAA. I pulled myself up, met the right people, got on my feet, got sober, did everything I had to do. And really got back into my music. I ran a sober living for a couple of years. And I was working with developmentally disabled at a full-time job, and I was going to school full-time too. And I was getting so overwhelmed with all that, and I just, I was coming to the point where I was going to break again, bro. It was just so much. And I knew in my heart, music is what I wanted to do, and I do it in my off time still. And as people look back, and as I can get records, I don't have a lot of good records of my stuff because just through shit, getting just uprooting, just all these uprooted situations that happen, or anger, I'd break my shit. I don't have a good record of my stuff from dating from that. I don't have music I can show. It might be deep on the internet somewhere through MySpace, or there's some songs on MySpace that I'd really want to get so I can show of myself, but when you go on there, it just won't play.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. When you eventually pop off, bro, those songs will come back out.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I just wish I had them to show. But yeah, I was doing it through the whole time. But it was the end of 2017. I was was just overwhelmed. Full-time job, development disabled. It was a really cool job. It was really rewarding and felt good. But it was just a lot of driving.
A lot of driving.
Full-time, going to school for to become a drug counselor, which I had like 4 classes, and I'm a certified drug counselor, bro.
Yeah, you're like right there.
Yeah, 4 classes. If I took 4, if I did one more semester, I'd be a certified drug counselor. But you know, I knew I was getting to that state again. My family, my aunt and cousin came down to visit me and kind of saw me in this state. I told them how depressed I was, and just and that's when the idea came up. Well, my grandma needs help. You know what I mean? You should maybe come down here and, you know, see what you can do or run into, or maybe transfer schooling down here.
Right. And
that was the idea, but then by the grace of God, through working on music, like meeting somebody, my manager now, who I met on Craigslist, you know, and then through the people I met, through the investments I scored in me that I have now, which is the reason I've been able to launch everything, and which makes it look like I came out of nowhere, which I've been here, motherfucker. I have been here.
Right.
Yeah, so that's when that popped off through this last February, and it's just been just taken off from there.
So like after like you met your manager, and then you started just putting in work, and they started investing in you. Like, is it different when you make music now? Because I bet like there's another level
there's
of
formulas too. That's why I actually have a song to show you guys, since you guys have heard my music. I mean, if you're able to play an older song, or one of I made this song with 40.
Do you want me to play the 40 song?
All right, but here, I'm gonna do this real quick because it trips people out. Like, you know, I know I talk like this, but I got a range with my voice. Like, see how it just went down like that?
Yeah.
Like, so like, you know, Insaine Caine, leave them deceased like 2-piece. You know what I mean? That's my voice. People trip out. People trip. They're like, he's using that fake man. Fuck you, motherfucker. That's me.
Well, because you know what's interesting though. That was something that came up in
like this. You know, what I mean, I can do that shit too, which I'll show, which I'll play for you guys too. As well.
Let me play all this.
Because that was something that in the Adam 22 video came up.
Yeah,
one of the critiques.
No, it's not.
What's he doing?
It's not even a deepness. It's a delivery. You know what I mean? It's not even a cadence. Yeah, it's exactly. Like, what are you talking about? Like, fuck out of here.
Like, before we play your stuff, let's that happened. What was it? A couple weeks ago. Adam 22.
That blew me the fuck up. But here's the thing.
That's what. Yeah.
I have a social media marketing team that's been organically growing my account since February. Okay, it's been steadily rising to that 150.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Twitter.
Instagram. Totally Instagram.
Instagram.
Twitter we don't really fuck with, but Instagram, YouTube, all that shit. I have people running for me. Like, mean, I'm logged into it, so I can always respond. But they do my postings.
Good.
What's your IG handle, just in case anybody? We'll leave it in the description too.
At Insaine Caine. But here's the thing: you got to spell just like Adam 22. You know he's insane because he spelled insane like Kane. All right, so don't forget that AI, motherfucker. INSAINECAINE. So it's at Insaine Caine, all one word. And then YouTube, everything.com/Insaine Caine. You can Google or Bing Insaine Caine, and everything will come up.
Yeah, well, before the podcast, I was typing in Insaine Caine onto YouTube, and just when you type Insane, you're the first thing that comes up under that.
Really?
Right away, yeah. At least for me. So I don't know why, or maybe it was because I searched you up before, but maybe I just was starting to type in Insane, and then automatically autofill Kane comes up.
I actually saw that happen after like the Out of 22 thing came out. I searched inside, put a couple letters on. I put Insaine Caine, and I put CA, and then Insaine Caine rapper.
Yeah,
and that's something I had never searched.
That's tight.
Yeah, so people like Insaine Caine rapper came up, and it was all spelled right too. And I had gone through all this stuff with the transitions, getting my online presence. They didn't have my name down right. It was all wrong before. You know, like the whole Google thing about like to be searchable, to make your to have become